This is going to be a quick video explaining my work in progress method, QB's pseudo, or KP for short. The intention of KP is to make pseudo V's more systematic, easier, and faster to recognize. Among other things, the main advantage I hope to gain from this is to be able to rapidly check for multiple solutions, multiple things that you can do from inspection a lot easier with a lot more flexibility. So for the first set of KP, what we're going to look at is we have one center that's already oriented, and we're going to make a bar here, and we're going to connect the down front edge to this center, whatever color it might be. So our recognition system for set 1 is going to be to solve for this. These are the pieces we're looking at, these are the pieces we're recognizing. Now you might notice an issue with that, but we're going to return to that. So with the recognition like this, we still have a lot of motion here that we can do, and all of this motion is potential pseudo V solutions that we could have set up into, and it would have the same recognition. So, for example, let's apply this on a real case. Let's do sus, or sledge, you sledge. So if we set up for that, we see to make this bar, the center's over here, and it's in place here flipped. And then this edge is just an insert away like that. So that's our case. Now if we look here, again we have this edge is up here with an insert, here flipped, but for a pseudo. Now for a 2-move pseudo, we have it here to here, this, insert away, 2-move pseudo, and now we can mirror it to the other side. So now this is the solved one, and the pseudo is L and B. So we have this here, or insert here. We do the mirrored solution, and we have a mirrored case. So back to the issue for it though. This is great for recognizing in a way that's neutral to pseudo V's, but it's actually not enough information to completely solve the puzzle. These two edges in the back can flip. A recognition will be solved, but these are flipped. But here's our saving grace with that. The only thing that can happen is that these two edges can flip, nothing else. The permutation has to be correct, and the edges have to flip together. The binary nature of this means that we only need to check for one specific thing to get our exact solution. It's a plus or minus. If we check for plus and that's wrong, we know that it's a minus. So let's review, as this is where I've been for a while. We have a 2-step recognition designed specifically for pseudo V's. We find the L4EALG including its AUF for a total of 96 cases, but it actually comes in a set of 2. So we have 48 cases, each consisting of 2 possible solutions. What I've been thinking is that from inspection, you can use that to check for a bunch of options, check different pseudo V's, and find a good case. It's a lot of information to work with, even with pairs of cases, to determine something good or something bad. One Oops. One good example I like to use is 4-flip. If we have this flipped in place and this flipped in place, we either have a 4-flip or we have a 2-flip, and neither of those are very good. So just using that information, we can determine at least something different, and then we can move on to step 2 to find which of the exact cases it is, which I hadn't made yet. That's where I was. But I think I've figured that out. That last bit of information that we need can be the orientation of one of the excluded edges. Proper EO on Pyraminx is basically useless most of the time, other than genning algs on a computer. So it's not really commonly known or used in that aspect. Even for ones that use EO, it's not the same proper EO. But we can use this. This can be the last bit of information that we need. Now, if the actual pseudo solution that we do affects the EO of the edge, we're going to have to account for that and flip what our recognition is when we pick which case it is. But that should be pretty easy to do. We know what we're going to have to do at the end. We know how we have to flip it. Overall, this EO recognition might actually be easy enough that we don't really have to make it a 2-step process or use it as a 2-step process for recognition very often. It might be easy enough to just check fully what the whole case is, if that's worth it. And with that, we're all good. We have our whole system. Now, if we add in a second set of KP recognition, for instance, if we solve for the back bar and the down front edge, this gives us the flexibility to solve every 2-move pseudo V that's R and L gen. And mirrored, of course. And the only thing that leaves us with is the stubborn cases of R prime or L into a B move. So we'd need some third thing for that, and we would be able to do every single possible 1 or 2 move pseudo that uses B, R, and L gen. And I think that would be a good idea for a method.